I want to talk briefly about spinal control and muscle balance. When we look at the spine is inherently a stack of blocks. So I've got a stack of blocks here to represent the different spinal segments. And when they are in the spine, there is amount of control based on the tissues around them, the ligaments and the soft tissues that stabilize the spine, as well as some of the muscles. And I want to do this demonstration to demonstrate or to show how various combinations of muscle strength, muscle balance between muscle groups are going to control the spine and the stability of the spine. So if we have a group of blocks to represent the spine, obviously it's very unstable. The blocks are not going to remain upright. If I try to move them or bend them, they might move as a unit, but I cannot get individual motions without them buckling and collapsing. If we look at a more realistic version, we can look at the spine as having segmental control. So the little TheraBand pieces here represent some of the deep spinal muscles and ligaments to provide some spinal control. So if you look now, I can move the spine in various directions and I get very good control of the spine when we have these segmental muscles and ligaments to control things. So we look at the spine as being controlled both locally with these small muscles and small ligaments, as well as large muscle groups, which are going to control the orientation of the spine. So if we have now the yellow TheraBand representing some of the large global muscles of the spine that control orientation of the spine, you can see that as we move the different large muscle groups here represented by the yellow TheraBand, we get some nice movement of the spine because there's nice balance between the local muscles here and the large global muscles. So that's what we're striving for when we look at spinal control, is balance between local and global muscles. If, however, we have an imbalance, so in this case we're going to look at perhaps strength or excessive strength in the global muscles, the large muscles that control orientation of the spine, compared to the local control. If I try to start putting so much control or too much movement or strength through here, it's not balanced with the local control. And you can see instead of smooth motions, I'm beginning to get some hinging down low here, and you're going to get collapse of the spine. So if you have too much strength in relation to the local muscles, I don't have good control. And in fact, you get these failure of the spine to move in a smooth pattern like that, and you get some buckling of the spine. So what we want is good control and balance between local muscles and local tissues and global muscles that orient the spine. And that's going to be our goal in this course, is to look at that balance between these muscle groups and between these different tissues, the local tissues, which are segmental in nature, and the global muscles, and make sure there's good balance so we have good control and don't have collapse or buckling of the spinal segments.